Disney are reportedly so unhappy with ESPN's deal with WWE. That's according to former WWE writer and Hollywood star Freddie Prinze Jr. Plus, people within WWE don't love Gunther being John Cena's final opponent at Saturday night's main event next weekend. We've got all of the details plus more in this news update. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's begin with a rumor started by former WWE writer and Hollywood star Freddie Prinze Jr. about the deal between WWE and Disney for WWE PLEs to stream on ESPN's direct-to-consumer streaming service. Now, ESPN may already be filled with regret over acquiring WWE's premium live event rights in the United States, as Hollywood star and former WWE writer Freddie Prinze Jr. has claimed on his podcast that ESPN are, quote, so unhappy with this deal. He said on his Wrestling with Freddie podcast, quote, ESPN, by the way, so unhappy with the deal. I was talking to a friend of mine who works for Disney, and he was just like, yo, they better make their money back on this deal. He just said they're hot. Now, this, of course, generated a lot of reaction online. Now, the Walt Disney Company are the owners of ESPN. The sports network agreed to a 5-year deal worth $1.6 billion for WWE's premium live event rights in the United States earlier this year, with the shows airing on ESPN Unlimited. The first PLE as part of this new arrangement was the WrestlePalooza premium live event. Now, as far as WWE and ESPN and Disney's reactions to it, well, as one would expect, they've already rejected these claims. Now, Fightful Select, Sean Ross Sapp say they reached out to sources in WWE and ESPN, with one rep from ESPN simply claiming that they haven't heard that chatter and have enjoyed working with WWE. When Fightful spoke to sources in WWE, a higher-up said, quote, no one in WWE upper management is aware of Freddie Prinze's role in wrestling or otherwise, end quote. So, of course, if we get any more details on this, we'll let you know. Now, when it comes to Freddie Prinze Jr., he has remained connected to WWE since his exit as a writer. Of course, he had 2 stints as a writer in 2008 and 2012. He has remained connected, though, to the company, as mentioned, since his exit, as he was the narrator of WWE Rivals on A&E from 2022 until 2024. We get any more details on that, of course, we'll let you know in a future video. Now, John Cena, his retirement match is rapidly approaching, and the expectation is that his final opponent at Saturday night's main event next weekend is going to be the former World Heavyweight Champion Gunther. But there isn't universal happiness within WWE over the booking decision for Gunther to be John Cena's final opponent. Cena is scheduled to retire on the December 13th edition of Saturday night's main event from the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C., and the Last Time Is Now tournament is ongoing to determine who Cena's final opponent will be. The final of the Last Time Is Now tournament will be Gunther versus LA Knight, and rumors have long suggested that Gunther will win the tournament and go on to face John Cena in his retirement match. According to WrestleVotes on a WrestleVotes Q&A, there are people within WWE who don't love Gunther being Cena's last opponent. Quote, I don't love it. I know other people who don't love it. People within WWE don't love it. I know people on the inside don't love it but understand it. Gunther has the potential to be a huge heel or babyface if you want for 5, 10, 15 years with this company. So, if he could be the one to retire John Cena, you probably take that. It is what it is, WrestleVote said. Now, another name not particularly pleased about Gunther being John Cena's final opponent is John Cena Sr. Cena's father noted on the All Access podcast that he would prefer Kurt Angle, Adam Copeland, Chris Jericho, or JBL to be stood across from his son on December 13th. Now let's go to last night's AEW Dynamite. The Continental Classic continued, and we've got the full results from the Night 3 of the AEW Continental Classic tournament. The third night of the AEW Continental Classic took place on the December 3rd episode of AEW Dynamite. After the opening segment between Eddie Kingston and Samoa Joe, Pac faced off against Kazuchika Okada in a Gold League matchup. Okada scored the victory to move to a 1-on-1 record. The finish came when Okada reversed Pac's brutalizer submission into into a pin for a quick 3 count, with the lost Pac is now 1-1 as well. Later on in the night, the Jet Kevin Knight took on former TNT champion Kyle Fletcher in another Gold League bout. Fletcher remained undefeated, pinning Knight after dropping him with his signature brainbuster. Knight is now 1-1 in the tournament as well. In the headlining match of the show, the Death Riders collided as Jon Moxley faced Claudio Castagnoli in a Blue League contest. Castagnoli was able to best the leader of the faction, pinning him after dropping him with a stiff uppercut. Moxley drops to 1-1, while Castagnoli remains undefeated. So a big victory for Claudio last night. Now, there's been a lot of confusion, hasn't there, about the AEW Continental Classic and the Continental Championship, the Unified Championship, and the International Championship. The Continental Classic is underway, and Don Callis has cleared up any confusion regarding the title situation. Kazuchika Okada is the reigning AEW Continental Champion, AEW International Champion, and AEW Unified Champion. While it was initially said that all 3 titles would be on the line in the Continental Classic, Don Callis explained that only the Continental title would be up for grabs. Quote, "Why would I put the International Championship on the line for anything unless I had to?" asked Callis on Dynamite. In the past 2 years, the winner of the Continental Classic has become the Continental Champion. Okada won the Unified title at AEW All in Texas when he defeated Kenny Omega, who was the AEW International Champion. Right? Understand? Of course you do. Now, Darby Allin, he was competing in the Continental Classic, but maybe he won't be moving forward. On the December 3rd episode of AEW Dynamite, commentary revealed a brutal update about Darby Allin, revealing that he was taken to hospital after his Continental Classic match with Kevin Knight on the November 26th episode of AEW Dynamite. Following that match, Darby Allin is not currently cleared for in-ring action or travel. Excalibur revealed that an update on Darby Allin's situation will be provided on Saturday's episode of AEW Collision. Of course, we get any details when we get an update on that, we'll let you know in a future video. The Timeless Love Bombs have made the finals of the AEW Women's Tag Team Championship Tournament. To kick off the second hour of Wednesday's episode of AEW Dynamite, the AEW Women's Tag Team Championship Tournament rolled on as the Timeless Love Bombs faced off against Mega Problems. In the end, Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa were able to score the victory with an assist from the returning Luther, who showed up as a Christmas-themed character. Storm put the shoe in Shafir's head before trapping her in a pinning maneuver for the victory. As a result, the Timeless Love Bombs will take on the Babes of Wrath in the finals of the tournament at AEW Dynamite Winter is Coming. Of course, the winning team will become the inaugural AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions. Now, speaking of Winter is Coming, several matches and segments have been confirmed for next week's show. Hangman Adam Page will team with a currently unknown name to take on Powerhouse Hobbs and Katsuyori Shibata of the Ops. Many fans believe that Page will team with his former rival Swerve Strickland, but that's yet to be confirmed. Also, as mentioned, the inaugural AEW Women's Tag Team Champions will be crowned in the conclusion of that tournament. As previously announced, Samoa Joe will also defend the AEW World Championship against Eddie Kingston. Of course, the two faced off in the opening segment of last night's Dynamite. In addition to Dynamite Winter is Coming, there will also be Collision Winter is Coming, and Mark Briscoe will be defending his gold. On the December 3rd episode of AEW Dynamite, Mark Briscoe spoke in a backstage promo and recorded 2 of his previous singles matches with Daniel Garcia. Briscoe continued on and eventually revealed that he spoke with Tony Khan and confirmed he'll be defending the TNT Championship against Daniel Garcia on the December 13th episode of AEW Collision, which will be a Winter is Coming special episode. Later on that night, Jamie Hayter and Chris Statlander challenged the Sisters of Sin to a tag team match on the same show. So those matches are confirmed for that episode. Speaking of Collision, several matches have been confirmed for Saturday's episode. In Continental Classic action, 3 Blue League matches will be featured. Roderick Strong will take on Orange Cassidy, Claudio Castagnoli will face Mascara Dorada, and Jon Moxley will go head-to-head with the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Konosuke Takeshita. Also, AEW World Tag Team Champions FTR will be in the house. AEW World Tag Team Champions called out the Bang Bang Gang to meet them on the show, with Dax Harwood specifically daring the duo to put their hands on the titles. Furthermore, as I mentioned earlier on, we will get that update on Darby Allin after he was hospitalized after his Continental Classic match against Kevin Knight. Mercedes Moné will make an appearance on Ring of Honor television this evening. During Wednesday's AEW Dynamite, Mercedes announced she would compete on the December 4th episode of ROH TV. An opponent was not announced for Moné. The bout was taped ahead of Dynamite in Fishers, Indiana. Of course, Moné is the reigning Ring of Honor Women's Television Champion. She will defend the title against Red Velvet at Ring of Honor Final Battle on Friday. Thursday will mark Mercedes' official debut in Ring of Honor. Now, a big announcement has been made for AEW Dynamite Holiday Bash. The Dynamite Diamond Ring is back. Some big news was revealed on Wednesday's episode of AEW Dynamite as commentary revealed that the AEW Dynamite Diamond Ring Battle Royal will return at AEW Dynamite Holiday Bash on December 17th. The two finalists of that match will face off just 1 week later at AEW Dynamite on 34th Street. The winner of that match will receive a shot at the AEW World Championship at AEW Dynamite Maximum Carnage on January 14th, 2026. Now, as of this recording, no names have been announced for the Dynamite Diamond Battle Royale on December 17th. As most fans remember, MJF has won the match 6 times in a row, dating back to the inaugural bout in 2019. So if we get any more details on the entrance of that match, MJF or anyone else, we'll let you know in a future video. Now, more details when it comes to TNA Wrestling's new media rights deal with AMC that was announced this week. And according to TNA's president, WWE was not involved in the negotiations. The news broke that TNA Wrestling struck a deal to bring its weekly show to AMC. Thursday Night Impact is scheduled to premiere on January 15, 2026 on the network. TNA president Carlos Silva began to make the media rounds following the announcement, and one of his stops was the takedown on SI. Silva was asked if WWE had involvement with the negotiations for TNA's new TV deal, and he said the following: "No, we did all the negotiations ourselves, with me leading the charge on the TNA side, and then CAA, that being Creative Artists Agency, leading the charge as our representative and our partner on the deal. Look, WWE and NXT are very important partners to us, so we kept them in the loop. They knew what was coming. They knew about the deal before you knew about the deal, but no, they've got their own deals. They're very busy with their deals, so they let us go out and cut a deal and get on a major network, and I think they're happy for us, and we're happy with the way it went." Now, he's also spoken about TNA's upcoming visit to Albuquerque, New Mexico, of course, a tie-in with their new network. Now, on Thursday, December 2nd, AMC and TNA Wrestling announced this multi-year media rights partnership. The partnership will kick off, as I mentioned, on Thursday, January 15th, 2026. Just a week later, the promotion will visit Albuquerque, New Mexico. Speaking with the Sportster for a new interview, TNA President Carlos Silva spoke about visiting the city, which was the setting for Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, two of the network's most popular shows. Quote, "It was a little bit of an opportunity to go to a market that we know is a good wrestling market. All of us that are Breaking Bad fans saying, wait a minute. If the AMC deal happens, how cool would that be that we're going to Albuquerque and there might be some things that we could do with the talent being in Albuquerque around Breaking Bad." So it was just part of the last 3 months as we were starting to lay out the 2026 season and the deal getting close enough that it made sense. If for some odd reason the AMC deal didn't happen, it would still be great going to Albuquerque, but now that we're together, it's just like icing on the cake. So it'll be fun and exciting, I think, to be in Albuquerque. Now, let's go over to CMLL and some AEW versus CMLL Dream Matches. An event has been announced for December 19th. AEW versus CMLL Dream Matches are coming to Arena Mexico, and the event will be taking place on Friday, December 19th. CMLL announced that Speedball Mike Bailey will face Mascara Dorada for the CMLL Historic Welterweight Championship, plus Neon will battle Kevin Knight. Finally, Claudio Castagnoli will defend his newly won CMLL Heavyweight Championship against Ultimo Guerrero. Claudio won the title from Gran Guerrero on November 28th. This will be his first title defense. AEW and CMLL have had a partnership throughout the year, including AEW running an event in Arena Mexico. If we get any more details on the event, of course, we'll let you know in the future. Now, Pat McAfee, he could be on his way back And Nick Khan, the WWE president, has revealed when. Nick Khan has said that WWE will be looking to bring Pat McAfee back after college football season. McAfee, of course, took a break from his WWE commentary gig in June, and then his schedule picked up with the start of college football season. WWE president Nick Khan appeared on McAfee's show and asked when McAfee would be returning to WWE. "I am in shape," said McAfee. Khan noted that he had 6 messages during the interview from various people wondering when McAfee would be returning. McAfee joked that Khan had only gotten 1 message, but kayfabed it to 6. Khan said, quote, "We're going to bring you back. I know you and I are going to sit together once college football slows." McAfee is part of College Game Day on ESPN. College football will hold its conference championship games this weekend. Bowl season officially begins after this weekend, so McAfee will be back in WWE at some point. And finally, we've got the ratings for last Thursday's episode of AEW Collision. Of course, it was a Thanksgiving special. This past Thursday's AEW Collision drew 285,000 viewers, which is down 11% from the prior week. It also scored a 0.06 rating on TNT, which is down 14% from the prior week. Of course, as always, the streaming viewership numbers for the simulcast on HBO Max are not currently known, but of course, this show was preempted and also on Thanksgiving. But there you go, guys, the latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.